Oh, darn it. Can you turn on that light and then move it over? Hey, everybody, we're live. I'm fixing a light real quick. And there we go. And God said, let there be light. Can you move it over just a little bit more? Welcome to Talks and Tea with me, Tonya Nicole. And I brought my oldest daughter here to join me today.
Say it right. Your favorite child.
My favorite oldest daughter, Miss Brianna Fuel.
Hi, guys.
All right, so today we are going to jump into a very exciting talk as we talk about her senior year and the joys and pains of it. You know, I often come on and talk about the joys and pains of parenting, the joys and pains of being a woman on a mission. And today we're going to talk about being a parent when your children are growing up and the next stages and preparing for those next stages. Because I think we often talk about what it looks like to parent when your child is in the house. And I know there are things out there about parenting once they're gone.
Hot.
But I've never really heard leading up to. I hear about empty nesters. I have a little ways to go before that, but leading up to it, the feeling. So we're going to talk a little bit about that on both ends, me as a parent and her as a offspring. All right. So what tea are you drinking today, Brianna? And what does your mug say?
It's a scone tea. It's a dessert tea. I don't really like dessert tea. She kind of threw this one on me. I didn't know. I just sat down and she handed me a cup and she said, "Drink this," and I did, and it smells nice.
Did you stir it up? And so it's a honey lavender.
I thought you stirred it.
I did a little bit, but because I'm using a knife and not a spoon, you might want to stir it a little more. It's by Pinky Up, and it's honey lavender scone, and it's pretty good. Like she said, it is a dessert tea, so it's kind of heavy, but it smells good and it tastes good.
My mug says "Dare to Begin."
So I picked up her mug as what I picked out her mug also because I thought it would really fit. You see, it fits the mood. And then mine says 40th birthday because
she's only 29.
I feel like both of us, as I charge her Dare to Begin, I'm also approaching new things in this 40th year of my life. So without further ado, we're going to try the tea and then we're going to send you straight to our intro.
Cute intro.
So again, welcome to Talks and Tea with me, Tonya Nicole, and my favorite oldest daughter, Brianna. Today, we are just going to explore some things. We've had a fun week, and we're going to start off with the most exciting news. And then we're going to just go into more conversations. If you have questions for us, or if you just want to say hello and tell us what you're drinking, leave a message inside the comment box. We would love to answer any questions that you have to continue this conversation. And we'd also love to know who's here and what you're drinking. So, Brianna, I know I'm struggling. What is the exciting news that we heard this week?
I got into my first college, North Carolina A&T.
Party over here. Party over here. So what does that mean for people who don't really know what that means? What does that mean?
That means that out of the 3 or 4 applications that I've already submitted, that is the first college to email me back and say, "Hey, guess what? You're pretty darn awesome." And I'm like, "I know." And they're like, "We agree. So come on." And I'm just like, all right, just give me a hot minute to see these other colleges. And they were just like, "Okay, well, I'm going to mail you this stuff anyways." So that's pretty much the summary of what happened.
And they probably said, we're not going to wait too long.
Yeah,
But you got to let us know.
We're going to give you 10 days before you get the package. And then you got to
make a decision.
Hurry up.
So we're really excited about that. She got her first college admission. And I just know there are going to be lots of other fun things that are going to come as a result. But I'll tell you, y'all, it's kind of scary. It's exciting, but it's bittersweet. Because yes, we apply to colleges. Thank you so much, Valerie, for the
congratulations.
Congratulations.
I thought congratulations was spelled with a D and not a T. And I looked so stupid in cyber the other day. Because I was like, you spelled congratulations wrong. And he was like, no. And everyone's like, no. And I'm like, sorry.
So do we blame the education system?
We blame the puns when you get when you graduate, they're like congrats graduate, and then they like merge it together with all of those signs and everything like that. I just thought that's how you spelled congratulations with a D, like they always do, like congratulations.
Nobody says that.
No, the signs that they sell in
nobody says that. Congrats, grad.
No, congratulations. They put grad in bold.
No,
I'm not listening to you because I've been there.
Nobody does that. Yes, this is live on both Periscope and Facebook and YouTube. So if you're joining us from any of those three, feel free, leave a comment. Thanks for joining us. All right. So Brianna, what does this mean? What are you anticipating? How many schools are you applying to? What is this kind of first step into where we are? And you can ask me questions too.
Okay. So I am applying to, I think 6 schools total. I haven't really sat down and counted it, but can I say them?
Yes.
Oh, and thank you.
Thank you for the congratulations.
That means a lot, Broski. I'm doing North Carolina A&T, Spelman, Tuskegee, Hampton, Howard, and the Air Force Academy. So that is 6.
Okay.
I don't think I missed anyone. I think those are the 6 that I'm applying for. And so far, so good. Spelman was the first application that I got out. And then after I submitted that one, I was kind of on a roll with the colleges that use the same admissions platform as Spelman. So I got 2 more out in like one day. And then Howard is asking for a little bit more than the other ones. So I put a pause on that one. And today I just submitted the first half of my Tuskegee application. So that's good news also. I should be hearing back from, in order, Hampton sometime this week or next week. And then Spelman on December 15th. And then if I do Tuskegee, if I finish the Tuskegee this week, which I will hear back from them in like much later, I think, like towards March.
Well, that's exciting. So a lot of times I know leading to this process and even helping with our friend, my adopted daughter last year, it was kind of a foreign idea of applying to colleges. So if you're out there and you're a parent and your child is maybe in their junior going into their senior year,
yes, definitely Hampton.
Hampton is definitely a choice of hers, and it's in Virginia. So it's a great school. And if you don't, maybe you were saying it to say good luck, but yes, fingers crossed. So if you are looking into applying for schools and moving forward in that, there's a lot to it. And that was one thing that I think, because she is my oldest, you don't always go in prepared as to, oh, my kid's at the point to start thinking of and applying for colleges and scholarships and all of those things that entail. And it is a lot of work. And I know that based off of her and her style, it was a little, I say easier for me, but it was still a lot for both of us to kind of keep reminding each other and check with each other and going over and looking at the edits and all of those things. And I do know my other 2 children have different styles. So my son, who is right behind her, he's going to have, I'm going to have to need it through this process. I've learned he's going to need a little more hands-on and to walk him through the different things. So, Brianna, what did you do? Like, what are some simple steps that you can share with everybody of how you went through the process? Hey, Lawrence.
Hi, Uncle Lawrence. But oh gosh. Okay, so
That worked.
okay, having a plan of what colleges you want to apply for. Because if you don't really know, it's really hard because then no one can really help you. So I don't know right now because I've only gotten into one college and I only have 3 applications in. So I can't really give advice right now, but I will say something that made it the process that I'm going through a little easier starting is knowing what colleges I wanted to put most of my effort into. Oh, and if someone would have told me about Common App earlier. So Common App is how like tons of HBCUs are doing their I'm sure it's more colleges, but I only learned about it for HBCUs. It's how they're doing their application process, and it's a one shot thank you. It's a one shot thing to like hundreds and hundreds of colleges, and you can submit the same essay, you can submit the same questionnaire or information about yourself. If someone would have told me about that earlier, I would have started a whole lot sooner.
And the ironic thing is, though, she has a mentor that told her about a year ago, but it still didn't sink in until this year, her senior year, where she really had to hone in on what she was doing. And one of the good tips that I think that she gave, shout out to Tiffany, we love you.
Auntie Tiff.
Okay, so one of the good things is that when you're writing your essay, make sure that you do want to keep it specific and you do want to keep it where it really is talking about a heartfelt matter. But in the same breath, you want to make sure that you're showing each of these schools that your child may apply to that you genuinely want to attend their school. And your kid may have their preference, like we definitely have our, rankings are the ones we'd love to, but even in our decisions of where to apply, and we even had this conversation this week. I told her, I said, make sure wherever you're applying to, wherever you're putting your efforts and your time and applying to for school, make sure it is something that you definitely want to go, a place that you can see yourself being. Hey, brother. So that's important. How do you think that conversation helped to narrow your choice of how many schools you applied to?
It didn't narrow my choice of how many schools I applied to, but it did tell me what schools to put a lot of my effort into. My uncle told me apply to a mall because his analogy was like a road. You can have all the possibilities in the world and still have the idea of like have one, like stay in your lane, like have that, see your future and everything like that. But if you could have 6 lanes to be in to like get to where you're trying to go, why just limit yourself to one? Even though that one is the one that you want, you could have like
options.
5 more. Why did that take so long? You could have 5 more lanes just there for you. And so it did help me realize, yes, I can.
Thank you, Lauren.
But it's just one of those things where it's just like keep an open mind, because when I was younger, I did not think I was going to major in computer science. One, because it really wasn't, it didn't interest me. Plus, I was that stereotypical girly girl. I was like, that's for nerds. Well, not nerds, because I love
you are a nerd,
but like it was for like non-interesting people. And here I am, an interesting person, doing majoring in computer science. But it's just one of those things where it's like you don't know what life is gonna like kick at you. And how awesome is it if you apply to 6 schools and get into all of them, and that's a better like challenge to have than to apply to one school and now you have to scramble something together because you didn't get into that one school. So I got options.
And that was one of the things when I applied for Spelman. I knew I wanted to go to Spelman, like it wasn't a question. I was very tunnel vision. I wanted to go to Spelman. And my mom, I remember she made me apply somewhere else to one, at least she said at least one other school.
What was the other school?
University of Florida, which is where I went to law school. But
you didn't have the HBCU thingy?
Well, I was going to Spelman. So yes, she didn't have a requirement, but in my mind, I knew where I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be at Spelman.
Nana did tell me about you and your teenage self, thinking you had everything planned out.
I did.
If you wanted something, if you touched something, her words, not mine. If you touched something, it turned to gold. If you wanted something, you got it.
And then I was humbled.
That's what she said. She's like, I think now she's being humbled. And I'm just like, well, that's one way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's one thing that I think is very important. So we've had some conversations over the last few months, especially because in my mind as a mom, my oldest child, my firstborn, my baby,
her favorite baby,
is about to go off to college. And for me, that is a change of our norm. And so I tell the kids, I'm like, this is the last year.
Everything we do, she's like, this is the last time we will do this as a normal family.
Right. In our traditional setting of what we know, with you living in the house full time and with everybody living in the house full time. And so that's definitely a change in things. Lawrence asked, how am I going to handle it? And honestly, that's a great question. And that's one of the reasons we came in here, because it definitely is something that I am trying to work with my mindset now. I don't know
She's
how
not
I'm going
gonna
to
be
handle
able
it.
to handle it. I mean, she is. She's gonna be fine, because I'm gonna be fine. If I wasn't gonna be fine, she would be freaking out. But since I'm gonna be fine, she's gonna be okay. She's just gonna have her little moment. My baby going away.
I think it will be a big change. It will definitely be a big change. Brianna's a big help around the house.
Because, I practically raised my siblings. She hates that phrase. Because I did nothing to raise my siblings. But why did we gain viewers right when I said that? That's horrible. But
no, Lawrence, absolutely not. It's so funny that people think that I'm not going to survive without you, or that I'm going to be in your face. Do you think that? Because that's a good question. Because Lawrence says you're probably going to move into the dorms with her. I'm going to miss her, but I don't think I'm like that. But you're making a face. So am I?
I guess we'll see. I just think.
Oh, y'all see that? Don't hide.
It's not hiding. It's just
we gotta keep it real.
I think you're gonna not like that when you you're gonna get mad. Like, you're gonna tell me to do something, or you're gonna like parent something, and I'm gonna just not text back. Probably just be really mad that that's gonna happen, and probably, I don't know, if I'm I'm good all by myself thing, you're probably gonna show up.
I find that funny, but no, baby, I won't be. I mean, and I guess I can show you better than I can tell you, but it's very important to me that you live your college experience. And it's so funny because when y'all were first born, of all of my kids, I held a very short leash. And over time, I relinquished that leash. And that's just metaphorical. I don't keep my kids on a leash. I think leashes are dumb.
Yeah, like those little baby, monkey backpacks.
You better stay right here. Touch the leg.
I did do that.
I did do that. I wish you would. I'm not holding you on a dog leash. Okay, I digress. Let me stay focused. But no, that's not my style. And so it may come across like that. in the way I parent because I have my things where they are my things and I don't teeter in them. There are just some things like, no, you're not sleeping over anybody's house. I don't trust anybody. Everybody
In
is
college or now?
No, now.
I was like
No.
sleepovers in college.
And
Yeah.
even our conversations, like of what we've talked about, like I've told her stuff that I understand she's going to do. But I think it is just the difference of, and I'm sure it's easier said than done, but what I go through on my end in private, I won't be sending to her because I feel like
Which is gonna be weird because I'm her right-hand man. I'm always knowing what's going on. And so then that's gonna be hard for me. And I'm gonna come back and she's gonna be like moping around the house and be like, what's wrong? And she's gonna be like, nothing. And I'm gonna not know what nothing means. I usually know what nothing means, but I'll come back and not know what nothing means. And I'll be like, someone can question words.
But I think the good thing is our relationship, I think it will grow.
Relationship?
Yeah, and I think our relationship will grow. It will grow to the next stage where it is no longer you're my kid, do as I say, but now you are a in between adult
grown woman
where it's let me guide you. If you have a question, I'm here and let's see. I'm still paying the bills, so there's some structure, but you have to make these decisions. Okay, we have lots of comments. Tonya, how will you feel when you call her at 11:30 and she doesn't answer the phone?
11:30 p.m. or while I'm in classes?
I think a big part of that, even now, I kind of I guess depending on the circumstances, I will usually text her and say, "Hey, give me a call." So I'm kind of I don't know. I don't know. You got jokes about the 11:30. I don't know.
Imagine. I kind of want to know the joke. What's the joke?
No, it's just the idea that you'll be in college, so you may be out. Oh. And I believe that that's probably going to happen. So I doubt I'll call her at 11:30. And if I do,
I'd probably no, actually. Okay, so it's one of those things where it's like at 11:30. Honestly, honest to goodness, it'll probably be really rare that I'm like out. You know what I'm saying? At 11:30 at night. No, I know. Like I'm a college kid. I'm probably gonna be doing like fun stuff, but like and 11:30 might not seem as late as it is now. But just thinking about it, it's like now 11:30 is a weird time to call. So if my mom calls me, I'm gonna answer. One time I was in class, like in school, in ROTC, and she calls. I turned my chrono. I was like, she knows I'm in school. Something's obviously wrong. And so he was like, okay. So I called her. She was like, so what do you think we should have for dinner? I was like, Mom, I'm in class right now. So honestly, I think I'd pick up because that's a weird time for her to be not awake, but wanting to talk to me. You know what I'm saying?
So it will be a hard transition. I will say that in a nutshell. Brianna is my ace, and I've always said that. And she is. But she is going off for a reason. It was never an option to live at home. Was it?
No, Mr. Chris said, once you turn 18, yeah, I don't care if you go to college.
That wasn't it. But I was like, if you're going to college, you need to go away because that experience is irreplaceable. I mean, and you know, barring COVID or another pandemic or anything crazy, it's essential. Vershonda says it sucks at first and you miss them tremendously, but it gets better over time. And then they wonder why you don't call.
I feel like that's going to be me. I'm going to be like, hey, and she's going to be like, hey, and I'll be like, you didn't call yesterday. She's like, I called you the day before. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, we do that now. Like when the rare occasions that you do go and stay somewhere, you'll be like, well, why didn't you call? Because when she was younger, I called morning and night. Religiously, I called morning and night. Same time, like you get it.
And if I wake up and she doesn't call in the next hour, I'd be like, to whoever's there, I'd be like, why didn't my mom call?
Stop saying I'd be like.
I'm pretty sure my grammar in this entire video is just way off.
Horrible.
But you guys said stuff like hip, and that was a joint in your body, so
whatever.
Anyways,
and we didn't even say hip. I'm just like behind the times. Oh. Yeah, that was like Nana's year. Nana's.
Anyways, didn't y'all say like raise the roof or something?
Don't do that.
the roof, the roof, the roof is on fire.
Lawrence, I love that you say that because you're right. And I'm just gonna shameless plug. I am a coach, and that is the cool thing is I do coach parents whose children are living with them, like really between that age of 7 and 17, 18-ish. Because there's a lot through our experiences. I never profess to be perfect, but I am tried and true. And I think we've had so many, I'm going to make up a word, flunders, and we just go with it. But a benefit of us is we do talk things out and we do kind of work past some of those things that a lot of parents that I've known don't ever move past or don't ever get over.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So I do work with parents, and I also work with, well, I mainly work with women and mothers and youth to getting past that. And we've had some challenges and blocks and differences. And I think I'm going to say my part and then you can say your part. I think we've grown in appreciation of being able to talk about it when we can talk about it. And typically we can move past it, not necessarily agreeing on everything, but we move past it.
Mm-hmm.
What you think?
I think, yes. I think when you're able to receive things, we able to talk, but you don't really put yourself in a state to receive things until you see that I'm like visibly upset. But in some occasions, I don't show that I'm visibly upset, and then we just don't end up talking, and we both be fuming around the house, and Evan and Grace be like, "What's going on? They're fighting again," and it'll be tough, man. Like the other day, what was it? You had taken my phone, right? And because I'm not supposed to have my phone in the bathroom. Makes sense. Logical rule. Like, that's like, I have it on the bathroom, right? But I had gotten my phone from charging, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go brush my teeth, because it was like, I need to brush my teeth. So I walked in, brushed my teeth, and then after I finished brushing my teeth, I was just leaning on the door on Instagram for probably about a good, like, 10 minutes, which was, I guess, kind of suspicious. But I wasn't really thinking much of it because I was probably just watching a Instagram documentary, something. I don't even know. And then she was like, Brianna. And I was just like, yep. And I walked in and she's like, and I was like, okay. So I hand her my phone and then she just went back to typing. And I was just like, did I do something? And she was just like, you know what you did. What did you do? You know, parents, when they're all like, you know what you did. Why don't you tell me what you did? And I'm just like, I don't know what I did. And she's just like, where were you just now? And I was like, in the bathroom. She's like, are you supposed to have your phone in the bathroom? And I was like, no. She's like, exactly. So I was just like, okay. And then I walked away. She's like, don't walk away. Come back. Let's talk about this. And so we sat down and I was explaining, I did not bring my phone to the bathroom. I just happened to be in the bathroom while I was on my phone. Does that make sense?
It does. And I understood where you were coming from, but in the same regard, the rule has to be the rule. And so for me, it wasn't a matter of she was doing something she shouldn't do. But as parents, I feel when you make that rule lenient over time, then it no longer becomes a rule.
And I do be one to.
Oh my goodness, your grammar tonight.
And I am one to test boundaries.
Yes, and honestly, that was one of the rules that we came up with. Remember when we were making the rules for you to get your phone back?
We didn't. You just said that, and I was just like, okay.
Okay, so that was one of the rules that was a basis of her getting her phone back when she lost it. And so, or not lost it, like couldn't find it, but get taken. Her privileges back of using her phone. That was one of the things. And so to me, it was very important to continue to uphold those rules. And we're going into detail about this just because there's a difference in her understanding of it and my delivery of it. But as a parent, I think it's very important to be consistent with that. And she's knocking at leaving. I know she's knocking at leaving, but it was still important to be consistent with this is still the rule. And there are reasons to have that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what else are we going to talk about before we go? Are we good?
You want to ask another college question? I like answering questions.
Okay.
If you guys have any college questions or senior year questions or questions about a almost 18-year-old in a global pandemic, I'd love to answer those. So please ask away. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, so ask us if we if you have any questions. Brianna will actually be celebrating her birthday in the midst of all of this, and so we're excited about that though because
I think this is so cool. Like the last pandemic was over a little under 100 years ago, 1918, and watching pictures of people wearing masks, posing for pictures and everything, and I'm like, I'm living in history. There's going to be a group photo one day of an entire town, just like of like a town square, and I'm going to be in the background wearing a mask. That's the coolest thing ever.
So if you haven't noticed, today's magic word is be. Just put it in everything. I'm gonna be, we be, I be, she be. Because apparently that is going to be what we're going to learn.
You did it! Look at that.
Hopefully she
follow me on Instagram at Miss B Lady.
Right. The B lady or Miss B lady. Okay, so one of the things I did want to talk about was hold on. Rashonda says, I was late getting on, but why did you choose your field of study? And what is the end goal for using it? That's good. So if you're joining us, field of study is computer
science.
Originally,
I had chosen computer programming, but I realized that that's not necessarily a major. So I had changed it to computer science, which includes programming in their courses. And honestly, it started off with me taking a couple of computer science classes and not wanting to lose the skill. And then I was
wait, pause. It goes further back. It started with her being homeschooled and teaching herself computer coding.
I had taught myself Scratch, and for those of you who do code, that is the most basic language in the history of languages. And then I was honored to do a summer program for African American girls who code, and I loved it. And one of my counselors actually ended up being my cyber teacher the very next year. So I've been with her for 2 years, and I was just like, you know what, I don't want to lose this, so let me do it in college. And it was actually going to be one of my minors at first. And then theater or entertainment was going to be my leading front. And then my mom was like, well, think about it this way in the bigger picture. With what you want to do, what looks better on a resume? You know what I'm saying? Still get those same like educations and everything. So then I was like, okay, computer science. That's what I'll major in. So regarding what I want to do in the future, it had started off with me wanting to do cybersecurity. I was like, you know what? This is so cool. I want to do cybersecurity. That's what I want to do. And then I went on a field trip with my ROTC group, my junior ROTC group, and we got to talk with a whole bunch of pilots in a room. We were at a base, and it was so much fun. And I was talking to this one lady right after doing a VR demonstration of flying a actual plane. And I went to this one African American lady. I was like, hey, what do you do? And she was like, oh, I fly life-size drones in a summary. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And seeing a woman who looks like me doing what I want to do, I was like, now I know that's what I want to do. I've seen someone like me reach it. Now I'm going to do it and do it better. So I don't think necessarily programming will have me will play a big role in flying those drones. However, getting familiar with the computer and the like technicalities and everything like that, I think that will make me an amazing drone pilot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, senior year grades. Let's have a moment of silence for all the parents of seniors who are not motivated because they have caught not COVID, but senioritis. Thank you. So, Brianna, what is going on? What are you feeling? And why are you not as motivated as you have been your entire life?
I didn't know I had senioritis until it was too late. I am a victim.
Hi, I'm Brianna, and I have senioritis.
Hi, Brianna. But I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where it's not like, on your lazy days, you're doing nothing, and you're just like, I am consciously doing nothing. With this, it's like my whole personality has changed. I don't want to do some things. And honestly, in my brain, it's telling me, oh, you're prioritizing what takes precedence. And so while I'm doing work, it'll be like, okay, oh, sorry, it's a habit. It'll process like okay. It'll process in my brain like you have a math worksheet or a math study guide for your test that is in 2 days. However, you also have a officer position in ROTC and your meeting is coming up and you need to type up an entire document about what these cadets need to do so that next year they'll be able to have a good leadership program, and tomorrow and next week they'll have all the announcement that they need. In my brain, that math thing is in 2 days. And my math teacher loves me. And he's awesome. He's the bomb. And so I'll understand it. And if I don't, I'll take the test again. With this ROTC thing, I can't do that over again. I'm in charge of some people's high school career in ROTC. So it's not necessarily being lazy. It's just what takes precedence,
And I will say, even with that, I don't think COVID helps because they have gone through having remote learning. They have gone through staggered entry. They've gone back to school. They're going back to staggered entry. So I think a lot of that plays a part in the senioritis as well. If you all were here with me for a quick moment, pause. If you all were here with me last Thursday, I had a conversation with Evan and how he would just walk in the room and stuff broke. He just walked in the room and
we have a broken vase.
Okay. He just throw it away, darling. Love you. And this is why you have to pick up your socks and keep your room clean because stuff just breaks.
If you want to understand that, please go watch the last video.
Yes. So, that's a good way of looking at it. But one thing that I have been putting a little fire under her is you still have to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
And so we talk about applying to schools and all of that. And I'm like, you have to keep your momentum. You have to keep your grades up. You do have to keep your activity, but you have to continue to balance it all.
Yep.
All right. So, Brianna, any last words to our wonderful viewers out there in cyber world?
Yes, I am wow, what I'm about to say is going to make that. No, what I'm about to say is going to make that mess up really funny. I'm an articulate human being. Just because I say be like and things like that, it's just because I feel really relaxed with you guys. I've seen my mom do this talks and tea for a while, and she's very transparent. And so I'd kind of just let down my guard when I'm talking to you guys.
I'm not see-through. I'm not transparent. Sorry.
And so I just kind of just talk to you guys like you guys are my besties.
So the question out there is, are you enlisting in the military after college?
I love how she asked me any nice words, Brianna, and cut you off. I will not be enlisting. Wait, yes? No, yeah. I will not be enlisting because I will be doing ROTC in college. I will go in as an officer. But yes, I do plan on joining the military right after college because it is a great foundation, a fantastic future plan.
Yes. And a lot of our family is military as well. So it's kind of a little bit of a legacy there as it relates to that.
They're mostly Army, and it's a lot of people will be like, a lot of people will say, so you're going into the Army, or so you're going to the Army. And when I go back home, and when I say military, it automatically means Army. And my family looks at me and they'll say, you'll be stupid if you join the Army. I love the Army so much, and I will love my job, blah, blah, blah. Don't join the Army. Now, my cousins have joined the Army, and one of them joined the Marines. I will be, I think, the first
to do Air Force.
As far as I know, I will be the first to do Air Force. And so this will be fun.
Yes. So I hope you all enjoyed today's talk. As I said last week and the week before, these three are going to start being regulars, because I know there were a lot of comments about missing conversations with kids. Whew. But I said one at a time, and I am going to bite.
Too hot to handle.
Yes, I said, but every once in a while, all of us will get on and we will have another joint conversation. So if you're joining us this Thursday, enjoy our moment of thanks together on the day that you celebrate, or maybe whatever you celebrate on that day. Join us this Thursday. Myself, Brianna, Evan, and Grace will be joining me on this at the same time.
You ready?
I'm not. I'm not. They drive me a little cuckoo.
We bring the heat. This would be nothing without us.
You're right. Because everything I do is for y'all.
Oh, you're so sweet.
All right, y'all. So join us on Thursday. We can't wait to see you. Join us as we talk and give more conversations. The goal of this is to open up a window of opportunity for you, not just to see into our lives. Sure, it may be a little entertaining, maybe a lot entertaining, but the goal is that you can have an idea as to what is going on in the world and see that you're not so different from everyone else. And also see that there are opportunities for you to start conversations with the youth in your life, or look at what you need to do in order to move forward. If you are interested in learning more about me, go ahead and visit me at TonyaNicoleFuel.com and book a breakthrough call with me. I'd love to talk with you about whether or not I can help you in getting you from where you are to where you want to be. And this will always be available on YouTube. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. She is Tonya Nicole. So this has been Talks and Tea.
Can I say something?
Oh, is that the tap?
Yeah.
I thought you were telling me to hurry up.
No, I was tapping you to say I want to say something.
Okay, go.
Okay, so if you want to see more of me, go check me out on Instagram at ms.bee.lady or _lady, Miss B Lady on Instagram. And you will see that I am a part of a production company, and we promote diversity and the celebration of differences. And we'd love for you guys to go check us out on Instagram at Chit Chat Productions, also on Facebook at AB Chit Chat Productions on Facebook. And our website's still in the works, but we will definitely have more for you guys soon. So check it out.
So she just took my whole platform, but we will catch you all later.
Self-promotion.
We love y'all. Yeah, support her. She's my kid, and I think she's amazing. And I hope you all had a great time. This has been Talks and Tea with me, Tonya Nicole, and my most favorite oldest daughter.
You said that wrong. Most favorite daughter.
Peace.
How do we turn it up? Are you gonna turn up?